customer kept flirting with me at work, then my mom showed up and knew exactly who he was. I moved to Portland for college and got a part-time job at a coffee shop, Brew and Bean. Every Tuesday, the same guy came in and asked for me by name. He looked mid-40s and always ordered a dark roast with oat milk and 2 sugars. At first, he just seemed like a friendly regular. He tipped well, remembered my class schedule, and always said I made his coffee better than anyone else. I laughed it off because customer service was part of the job. Then he started leaving notes with the tip. Nothing wild at first. Stuff like, "Thanks for brightening my day," or "Your smile made this Tuesday easier." I felt awkward, but not scared yet. I figured maybe he was lonely. But after that, it got harder to pretend it was normal. He came in on days I wasn't working and asked Sarah when I'd be back. He asked Dave if I still worked Tuesdays. One time I walked in for my shift and saw his car across the street. He didn't come inside until I tied my apron on. Another time, he waited until my last customer left so he could start talking to me. He kept asking what I studied, whether I liked Portland, and if I ever went out at night. Then he asked if I had a boyfriend. I told him I was too busy with school and work for dating, hoping that would end it. Instead, he smiled like I'd just told him something he wanted to hear. After that, he got more confident. He started saying we had a real connection, like I was different from other girls my age. If there was a line behind him, he'd still stand there talking while people waited. I started feeling my stomach drop every time I saw his car pull up. I tried to stay polite because he was a customer and because I really needed the job. Even Dave started noticing. One afternoon, he asked me straight up if Tuesday guy was bothering me. I said, not really, because I didn't know how to explain something that felt wrong but hadn't crossed a clean line yet. Then Valentine's Day happened. He walked in carrying roses and a card. My face got hot the second I saw them. He set them on the counter and said they were for someone who made every day brighter. Dave was right there. 2 students were waiting for drinks and everybody looked at me. I felt trapped, so I took the flowers and mumbled thanks just to get through the moment. He looked too happy about it. After that, he acted like the flowers meant something. He stayed longer. He asked what kind of food I liked. He asked about spring break. He said there was a steakhouse he'd been wanting to try with me. I kept making excuses. Midterms, papers, family stuff. None of it worked. Sarah finally told me I needed to be careful because he'd asked what time I got off and whether I parked in the garage behind the building. That scared me more than anything else. I started asking coworkers to walk out with me at close. One night, even with Sarah next to me, he stepped out by the elevator and said he was only trying to make sure I got to my car safe because Portland wasn't safe for young women. I said I was fine. Sarah grabbed my arm and kept me moving. He stood there smiling like he was the helpful one. By then, I felt sick every Tuesday, but I still didn't know how to make it stop without turning it into a huge scene. Then my mom came to visit for my 21st birthday. She said she'd stop by the cafe before we went to dinner. I was on register when he walked in, and the second I saw him, I knew it was going to be bad. He ordered his usual, but instead of moving aside, he stayed at the counter and started talking fast. He said he'd made reservations at Morton's. He said he knew I kept saying no because I was shy. He said there was obviously something special between us, and he couldn't stop thinking about me. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the receipt. I told him again that I wasn't interested. He leaned in closer and said I should stop pretending I didn't feel it too. Right then, my mom walked up beside me with shopping bags, looked right at him, and said, "Uncle Rick, what are you doing here?" Everything stopped. He stared at her, then at me, then at my name tag like he was seeing it for the first time. The color dropped out of his face. He whispered, "Jessica?" I just looked at him. My mom looked from him to me, confused for half a second, and then her whole expression changed. He snatched his coffee off the counter, muttered something about a misunderstanding, and backed away so fast he bumped into the pastry case. Then he turned and almost ran out of the shop while Dave stood there staring after him. Now my coworkers are saying I should have shut it down sooner. Was I wrong?